Welcome back to the channel, and we have some major news today. It is Monday morning, and Penguin Random House is getting us started off right. So it has just been revealed that Prince Harry is writing his memoir. Now, after I came back down to earth and recovered from my excitement and frankly disbelief, I found the statements. And so I just want to read those just right up front. No point in burying the lead. They said Penguin Random House is honored to announce that it will publish a forthcoming memoir by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. In an intimate and heartfelt memoir from one of the most fascinating and influential global figures of our time, Prince Harry will share for the very first time the definitive account of the experiences, adventures, losses, and life lessons that have helped shape him, covering his lifetime in the public eye from childhood to the present day, including his dedication to service, the military duty that twice took him to the front lines of Afghanistan, and the joy he has found from being a husband and a father. Prince Harry will offer an honest and captivating personal portrait, one that shows readers that behind everything they think they know lies an inspiring, courageous, and uplifting human story. So first of all, yes, Penguin Random House, because that's how you endorse and support and begin the marketing process for this book that y'all are about to publish. Absolutely. And you may recall that Megan's book, The Bench, is also published by Penguin Random House. So I'm sure there's probably a larger reason why they as a family are going to go with that publisher. You can bet every dollar in the bank that whenever they publish another book, whether that's Megan's memoirs or Megan's second children's book, who knows? But it'll be with Penguin Random House. So shout out to them. But let's go back to that one sentence that said that this book is from one of the most fascinating and influential global figures of our time. I love that because it is also very true. It's like, who's going to argue with this statement? You can try, but watch this book sell. Speaking of the book sales, every dollar earned from this book is going to go to charity. The charities have not yet been named, but I love that. I also love the fact that Harry and Meghan are going with an American publisher. I really love that. Nothing against British, publishing houses and English publishing houses. I mean, certainly if Harry and Meghan wanted to go with English publishing houses, they could, and it would still sell. The book would still sell. But obviously, Penguin Random House is a juggernaut in the literary field. But the fact that Harry and Meghan are making a point to keep all of their business in the United States of America, at least in terms of their deals, that lets me know they're not coming back to live in the UK for any reason anytime soon. So while the girls are begging Harry to come back without his wife and his children, baby, read him and weep. He's American now. He may as well be. But I just love that. And here's what Harry had to say. He said, "I am writing this not as the prince I was born, but as the man I have become. I've worn many hats over the years, both literally and figuratively. And my hope is that in telling my story, the highs and the lows, the mistakes, the lessons learned, I can help show that no matter where we come from, we have more in common than we think. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share what I've learned over the course of my life so far, and excited for people to read a firsthand account of my life that's accurate and wholly truthful." You better let him know, Henry. You better let him know, Henry, because we gonna let you know before the statement is done that this is the first-hand account of my life. The one that has been lived behind these eyes. Not what you done heard in the tabloids. Not what you done seen on ITV and Sky News. Not what you done heard from other people, so-called historians, books and columns. Not what you done heard from courtiers and or friends of folks who can't even denounce racism in their own family. You gonna hear it from me. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the only account that matters. Yes, Harry, I'm here for all of that. I'm here for all of it because I caught it. I caught what you're trying to say. What's your statement? And then the girls can run in whichever direction they want to run from here, because we know they're going to come up with all kinds of narratives. In the meantime, the book won't be released until the end of next year. So it's more than a year until this book is published. You know, in the meantime, the Platinum Jubilee will have happened. Everybody is talking about, oh, will Harry and Meghan bring the kids back? Will they come back? Will they stand on the balcony? I don't really even know if that matters. It didn't matter yesterday, and it still don't matter today. But, you know, y'all got a little bit more to look forward to after the Jubilee, don't ya? And what I absolutely love, every single time the Sussexes release major news, what I love, and probably many of you guys love the most, is that we never knew about it beforehand. There are no leaks. There are none. And there won't be any until the book is out. I just love that Camilla Tominey is a liar, and all of the royal reporters, all of those who throw shade, you know, Angela Levin, the haters, Kensington Palace, all the courtiers, everybody, they're going to be reading it at the exact same time as you. The exact same time as you. Maybe those in the actual field of like journalism, you know, we use that term loosely, they may get a few extracts beforehand, and we usually see that share, but like maybe not. We don't know. I don't even know if that's common practice over here in America. Maybe, I don't know. But for the most part, the vast majority of that book, they're going to be reading at the same time as you and me. Now, I personally wasn't expecting any books of this caliber from Harry and Meghan for at least a couple of years. However, it is still welcome. I am here for all of the details that Harry would like to share. Now, I have been seeing a lot of people on Twitter say, well, you know, I'm not having any high hopes because, you know, I want him to really spill all of the tea. We'll see. We'll see. I do too. I'm right there with you. I got to say, I'm right there with you. Like the Oprah interview, I kind of knew that it would be Harry because that's his family. We kind of knew it would be Harry that was giving more details than Meghan, and Meghan would defer to him. I think a lot of people, especially those who just line up to vilify Meghan for no reason other than the fact that she married Harry, they expected and probably wanted her to write a book first, because with her experience being what it is, I think a lot of people assume that she has the most to say. But people forget that Harry is the one who's related to all of these people. He's the one who was born in the institution. And this is why even in the interview, he and Meghan basically said, hey, this was Harry's idea to move us over here, to actually leave the royal family, right? Harry even said it in South Africa. If you knew the things I knew, you would be protecting your family the same way that I'm protecting my family. So Harry knows his family. And this right here is the book they feared. This one. Because Harry knows many, many things that Meghan doesn't know unless he shared them with her. But certainly things that we don't know. Things that, like, for example, to paint a picture, that Robert Lacey would allude to in some ways, like little details. And this is where Penguin Random House's statement I find very intriguing, because it says things that you think you know, they're gonna be laid bare here. And ultimately, I think Harry's goal has always been to be inspiring, to inspire others, to draw comparisons with people who don't come from, let's say, the same background as him or have the same notoriety as him. But there's going to be some details that everybody's looking for. And to the extent that he shares those details and the account of, especially this chapter in his life from when he became a husband to now, like when he's a brand new father of 2 kids. I mean, because a lot has happened. I think Harry's probably lived more life, or had more life experience, I should say real world life experience, sadly, in those couple of years that he's been the Duke of Sussex than he has had for, that's actually not correct because his mom died when he was 12. But for the most part, he's been very sheltered until they turned on him. And that's what I'm really getting at, until his family basically turned on him. And I think the world sees that. I mean, just look at the reaction to William's tweets, right? We saw how the royal family, at the very least, turned their back on them, but we know they were targeted. So, as a husband having a family to protect, as a father having children to protect, I'm sure he's learned a lot in these last 3 years. So that's going to be interesting to see his viewpoint on that, having to actually step outside of the bubble, having to be a provider for his family, and also considering his own legacy for his children. It's just going to be really interesting to see all of what he has to say in terms of what he chooses to share with us. Now, I do want him to bring out the big guns. I do. I'm not going to love him any less if he doesn't. But, I guess we're all just going to be speculating between now and then, and not necessarily, in a negative way, but some people certainly will. But for me, it's more so I hope he just lays it all out there and say, hey, these are the facts. These are the facts as I live them. What y'all choose to do with those facts, it's totally up to you. But I'm putting him right here between these 2 covers, and you can do whatever you need to do with those. Because the facts as he has lived them, it shouldn't offend anybody else. But now, if the facts as you have lived them involve, for example, your brother and or his household being the force that caused your life so much darkness in that period of time, then it is what it is, right? I don't necessarily know how much reconciliation means to him and, what part that may play in how he chooses to tell his story. A lot of that is just yet to be revealed, and we're honestly just not going to find out until the book comes out. But I just hope that Harry doesn't feel he needs to hold back. Not because I want to see the brothers at odds for the rest of their lives, because I don't. Not because I even want the monarchy to crumble before my eyes. Because to be honest, I don't care whether they do or don't. I don't care. Harry and Meghan are fine. They're safe. They're good. I don't think that's Harry's goal to bring down the monarchy. And I don't even necessarily know that even if he gave all the facts of what they experienced just completely just out there, I don't even think that would bring the monarchy down. However, I want Harry to feel as though there is absolutely nothing wrong with telling one's unvarnished truth. What I love for Harry is that he can actually tell his own story out in the open. And there's so many facets to his story. He's not just Meghan's husband. He's not just Diana's son. He's his own man, and telling about even just his experiences as a military man. But the freedom in being able to just freely say, this is my story. And this is in a way that Diana didn't exactly get to do, because when her biography came out, she collaborated in that, but it was all behind the scenes. There was speculation that she was involved, but it was all behind the scenes. This is him telling his story in his own voice. So in a way, I feel like this is for Diana, but it's also for himself, and it's also for posterity. I mean, you just look at the way these newspapers and tabloids have tried to skew the narrative against Harry, even in his own home country. Well, now he has this entire book in which there's a firsthand account of everything he's lived so far. And at the very least, given everything he's been through, privileged or not, he deserves at least that. Another thing that's related but unrelated. Do you remember that smear campaign Kensington Palace is basically, waging against Meghan? And how just a couple of weeks ago, there was news that, hey, this investigation may drag on into 2022. And I saw that, and I always thought that was a way for them to try to further muddy Meghan in particular. Meghan's name, Harry and Meghan's name, though, before the Jubilee. Because, again, they want the environment to be so toxic when Harry and Meghan come back in any capacity as a family. So, of course, they're going to drag it into 2022. And I mentioned the Platinum Jubilee earlier. Well, they got a whole year to worry about what's going to be in this book as well. And part of me wondered, this is Harry saying, oh, look, I can do it too. I can have something lingering over your head as well. I don't necessarily think so. I don't know that he lives his life always trying to play tit for tat and be reactive the way that Will does. But it certainly is right there lingering over their heads. And so here's what I expect between now and then. While KP, continues with their smear campaign, which Harry and Meghan have said as such, it is a smear campaign. And it has been really since Meghan joined the family. I'm of the belief, as many of you are, that Kensington Palace and Clarence House, they're about to reveal some things. Not about Harry and Meghan, because you've already revealed your hand as far as they go. They're about to, in some way or another, snitch on each other for a good 12 months. You watch and see, because you can already sense that the British press is turning on. I won't say turning on, because they always have that invisible contract, but they're kind of getting impatient. They know they don't have a whole lot of news to come out of Harry and Meghan's camp. Harry and Meghan are on maternity leave. They're chomping at the bit. That's why we see stories about Prince Charles and this whole title of the Duke in Edinburgh. And, the messy pettiness that goes with that. Oh, but you just wait. Because I feel KP and Clarence House are going to fall right in line. Because what y'all may not know is they're competing with each other. Because they know the Queen, she's far closer to the end of her reign than the beginning. And Charles is already making moves as the next monarch. And they know a lot is riding on the transition from this monarch to the next monarch. And Will is in the background trying to position himself. Ooh, it's very Game of Thrones. And it is oh so cutthroat. Y'all just watch. Because Harry has already established himself as a global player. And baby, at this point, he ain't got no skin in the game. He's just trying to tell his story. But they're the ones that do, because they're the ones that depend on the survival of the monarchy. Child, it's finna get ugly. But what I'm gonna need for my faiths to do is to up their security and just to be vigilant and to continue to walk in their light and in their truth. I am looking forward to buying the book. I will be buying multiple copies as I do. For everybody who's ever wondered what Prince Harry has been up to in his life. You feel me? Because I'm a stan. I'm not just a fan, I'm a stan. You feel? So I just want to get on here and talk about that. And y'all know where y'all can find me. I am on Twitter at Megan Mood on Instagram at Sussex Set. I'm trying to get my little TikTok, popping or whatever, but I don't really promote it. But yeah, you can find me over there. If you have a TikTok at Sussex Mood, it's like Megan Mood, but just Sussex Mood. As always, it's great to catch up with you guys, and please take care of yourselves. And so until next time, peace.